Bowling Club. Welcome everybody. Today is quite a busy day. We have some group stages of the club men's singles competition. At the moment players are just having trial ends. There are currently 3 games happening this morning. What we normally have is, for the men's singles, we normally get around 30, somewhere between 30 and 39 entries each year. Some players have to play a preliminary round to get the numbers down to 32, and then the remaining 32 players are split up into 4 groups of 8, A, B, C and D. Each group of 8 then play 2 games, and 2 players from each group qualify to the next round in a few weeks. Today is Group A. We've had a couple of players drop out. We have 6 players here, which means that 2 players will only need to play 1 round to qualify today. The other 4 players will play twice, and the winners will go through to the next group. This afternoon we have Group B playing, same format. 8 players down to 4, 4 players down to 2, and those 2 qualify. The players do the draw when they arrive, so they don't know who they're playing when they turn up. It's all drawn at random, and anyway. So we're covering the game on rink 6 today, which is Nick Flatters and Matt Watkins. I'll try and get some information on what woods the players are using, and get you instructed beforehand. Once all the trial ends are completed, the players will be off. On rink 2 we have, on rink 1 we have Jim Collins playing Kevin Masters, and on ring 3 we have Andy Mace playing Calvin Cooper, and the match we're covering is Nick Flatters v Matt Watkins. I'll try and keep you updated across the rinks as we go on. So the format is 21 up or 2.5 hours. We're playing respots, so there'll be no dead ends, and I'll just kick the players off. Okay. 5 past 10, everybody. Okay. Right, so players are just to start. So yeah, it's 2.5 hours or 21 up. Respot rule, no dead ends. And the players can visit the head as often as they want to. So over on the game in question, it's Matt leading. He's playing with Aero Defiance, and we have Nick, who is playing with Drake's Pride Professionals. So Matt has set the mat just short of 2 spots up, and the jack is about 1.5 spots from the tee, which I believe is around about 30 metres. Matt's electing to bowl on his backhand. And the first wood is around 5 feet short of the jack. Nick following on the same hand. This rink bowls fairly true. There isn't really a bad hand on this rink, so. And well, that's not a bad start, moving the jack with the first wood, finishing around 2 foot off the jack. So players most probably will need to stick with the backhand now if they want to be drawing to the jack, because with the forehand, to bowl to that mark, you'd have to bowl in the ditch. That second wood is a good 2 yards short. Certainly a lot of swing on those professionals, the way he bowls them. About a yard through, currently holding 2 shots. Well, that's decided to try one on the forehand. The Defiants are a tightish wood, so but yeah, he needed to get off that wood really. Impossible to draw to the jack without getting some help off the woods on that hand. I'm not sure if that is good enough to count. It looks like 2 shots at the moment to Nick. Matt electing to go back to the backhand rule. Looks like he's got a decent track here. It's a question whether he can find a way through the woods to get onto the jack, and well, this is looking like a very good effort. So no real pressure on Nick here. He's got well a yard and a half to get in to count another. Whether he's done enough to knock that wood into the count, I'm not sure. Looks like 2 in a measure from the way they're looking at the head. Or 3 in a measure. Well, that's the sort of start you want to get off to. 3 out of 4 on the first end. Davis is our marker on this rink for the day. Richard, I'm sure you're all aware, often does a commentary on the games, but today I've got him to do a bit of proper work marking on the green, and that looks to me as though it was a full house, 4 shots. Yes, 4 shots. Score after one end, 4-0. So Nick electing to keep the mats. I think 2 spots up from here. Well, 3 spots up. Just short of the tee, which again I think is round about 30 metres. I think a full mark on our rigs is round about 33 metres. I could be wrong. So Nick bowling his first wood on the forehand, and that's not a bad start. That's around about 12 inches up behind the jack. So it looks like both players at the moment preferring to stay away from the ditch side. And Matt's just got a little bit too much on that. That's in the ditch. Good line here, decent weight. That's an excellent bowl, just behind the jack. That's turning over and deciding to bowl backhand ditch side. And this looks a much better wood. And that's a good reply there from Matt. Probably not good enough to save, but it's a good third wood nevertheless. And we could just put a little bit too much on that. It might be a tactical wood, knowing that if Matt was to run that jack, be holding 2 or 3. And that's finished in a decent position there, around about 2 metres behind. I think, yeah, that's another good effort from Matt. There's not too much wrong with that. Finishing a yard through. Currently, at the moment, Nick holding 2 shots. So Nick sticking with the forehand. Another decent wood here, and that's a very good wood there. That's restricted the firing shot. It looks like 3 from here. So is Matt going to draw this one, or is he going to be a bit more adventurous? It looks like it's a draw line. He doesn't like it. I don't think he's going to get back. So that's 3 shots to Nick. So Nick getting off to a flying start, 7-0 after 2 ends. Over on the other rinks, we have over on rink 1, Jim Collins at Kevin Masters. Jim Collins is currently 3-0 up after 2 ends. And on rink 3 we have Andy Mace against Kelvin Cooper, and Andy is 5-0 up after 2 ends. So Nick electing to put the mat 4 spots up. And well, you can't see, but the jack is on the tee. So around about 29-ish metres. Nick bowling on the backhand, which he's done all through so far. And again, that is a great start. 2 feet or so in front of the jack. 20 inches according to the marker. Yeah, Matt bowling, the ditch side normally bowls really well for most players. He's got a great line, he's just put two yards too much on it and lost that wood. Just needs to settle down a little bit, Matt does, to perhaps get a wood in the end, get hold of the jack and swap it around a bit. Oh, Nick bowling very consistently now, he's dropped on it early on, touching bowl there, great shot. Yeah, Matt's drawing in to try and get something in the can. Looks like a decent effort this does. Very good effort indeed. That's a great reply there from Matt. Only got second wood out of it, but it's a good second. It might free up options for him with his last wood or his next wood if he wants to play a little bit more aggressive, punch the shot wood out. I'm guessing he'll probably draw with his next wood and then weigh up his options for his last ball. Well, look at that. Nick has turned over, come down on his forehand. That's the first ball he's played on his forehand and he's bowled within an inch of the jack. That's great bowling from Nick. Yeah, Matt electing to draw. He doesn't really want to be short with this. If he's finishing behind, it might give him a shot to bowl with his last wood, which it wouldn't surprise me if Matt hasn't put that there on purpose. Unfortunately, he's ditched it, so Matt has got some work to do to get anything out of this end. I believe his only option is to try and bowl to save, but he's got to bowl within an inch of the jack to even get a second wood. Whacking it's not really an option. Well, it might be, I suppose, if he played onto his front wood. If he split the two backwards and ended up respotting the jack, he might get shot. Draw shot is the order of the day. Forehand, lovely effort, just isn't quite there. So that's 2 shots to Nick, which puts Nick 9-0 up after 3 ends. Still a long way to go. These sort of games, they can be over in half an hour, or they can go the full 2.5 hours. This time, Nick has got the mats around 1 spot up, just over 1 spot up, and keeping the length similar. Well, I think this might be going in the ditch. He's overcooked the jack, so the jack will go back, and Matt will get the chance now to set his preferred mark. He can place the mat wherever he feels, cast the jack to wherever he wants to, and as long as he makes 23 metres or more without ditching the jack, that then will be a live end. Should Matt not cast the jack correctly, the jack will be placed on the tee, and the player bowling the first wood will have choice of where he places the mat. So the mat is up to around about 3 spots. We've got a length there of around about, I'd say, 27, 28 metres, slightly shorter than previous, but not dissimilar to what they've been bowling throughout. And again, Nick bowling first wood on his backhand, and he's bowled a lovely wood there. That's within a foot of the jack, which is perfect really for a lead bowl. I'm electing to bowl ditch side backhand there is a way of drawing just round, but it's got to be a good wood. And that first wood is finishing around about 2 yards behind, just over 2 yards behind the jack. Well, Nick sticking with the forehand. This looks a little bit on the tight side where I'm seeing it. Actually, the land isn't too bad. It's just a yard and a bit short. But importantly, it's still counting. So Matt has certainly got better weight with his shot. It's a good response here. And that's it's a lovely draw shot. I think it's just run out, but I think it's good enough for second wood at the moment. Nick staying with the forehand. Got another nice wood coming in here. And I believe that has just fallen into count. So from here it looks like Nick is probably holding the 2 shots. Matt's turned over. He's coming a little bit more controlled. He's on a tighter line. On that line he needs to be bowling a yard through on weight to get some contact on the jack or woods. Right idea, just he's found the gap and gone sailing through. He's actually not in a bad position here, because if he can play controlled weight with his last wood and get the jack or get a rub off the shot wood, move that jack back, it could be worth a few shots. Nick has elected to draw in, and it's a lovely draw shot, but it does make the target a little bit bigger, and I should imagine Matt will be having a little go at this. Yeah, he's certainly on a tight line with it. Whether his wood will hold long enough to get a result. He's very close here. He's very close. That's a fantastic bowl. And my word, that is so unfortunate. Had he got that jack clean, he would have certainly had 2 shots. As it happens, he's just edged it, and he's 2, maybe 3 down still, which is really unfortunate. So Nick electing to place him at 1 spot up. I'll just confirm the score when it goes on the board. I think it was 3 shots, Nick. He's cast the jack a couple of spots, nearly 3 spots up, so 30 metre-ish, 29, 30 metres, something like that. And yes, that was 3 shots, so that's 12-0 as it stands. Over on the other rinks we have Andy Mace is 7-0 up, and on the rink 1 it's now Jim Collins 3, Kevin Masters 4. So Nick bowling his first wood, round about a yard off the jack. Matt responding on his backhand, and that's about nearly 2 yards through. So this looks like, well, it's not a bad effort here from Nick. I think it's good enough to count, and about 2, maybe 2.5 feet from the jack. Matt's got a good line here, and it looks like the weight isn't half bad too. So yes, Matt's now holding shot wood, jack high, about a foot or so to the right hand side of the jack. Not a bad reply from Nick. He's just overcooked that, 2.5 yards. So, chance for Matt to get another one in here, get himself into the game. And this looks like another good effort here coming in, and looks like this is shot wood. Matt will be happy with that as it stands, although there is still room for Nick to get in there. If Nick doesn't manage to, Matt has got the option of just trying to draw that jack through to pick up a full house. Nick has, I think he might have bowled second wood there. Yeah, Matt is currently holding one with the wing bowl. I think his only option there is just a nice draw shot, pick up a 2, and have control of the jack. It looks decent if it's reaching. It looks like he's done enough. So now Matt has got, at least he's on the board. He's got the mat. He can change it if he wants to. Which, if I was in his shoes, I'd certainly be doing something. Moving the mat up or shortening the length. So 12-2 is the score currently. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter this time, not a huge amount, probably around about 26 metres, 27 metres. Electing to bowl ditch side on his backhand. Well, he's got really good weight there. I'm surprised the wood didn't trap back. It looked like he was on a good line there, but for some reason the wood's managed to hold out that little bit. About 2 feet to the side of the jack. Nick electing to bowl with him. He's got a little bit more finish on his woods. That's come down on roughly the same line as Matt. And as you can see, that's skipped right through the head. Probably 2 feet too heavy, finishing around about a yard off the jack. And Matt is on a slightly tighter line this time. That should be good to get back to the jack. And it is. That's a very good ball there from Matt. Lovely wood, toucher. So if Nick can bowl a similar wood to his first wood and just pick the jack up on the way, then that'll be a good result for him. He's on a good draw line, but it looks like he's running heavy, so It looks like Matt's got it right this time with just adjusting the weight of the jack by a couple of yards. It's thrown Nick a little bit. And he's got another nice ball coming in here. That's good bowling from Matt. Another toucher, so that's 2 touches. Nick following him on the backhand. Yeah, he's on a tighter line. He's trying to get some contact here, either on the jack or the woods. It's a right shot to play, I think. Probably a decent weight to get a result, just too tight on the green. Matt currently holding 3 shots. So Matt to bowl his last wood. It'd be nice if he could just tickle the jack and get it onto his wing ball, or even finish a yard through. Wouldn't be a bad wood. Well, that's in the count, I think. It looks like it possibly 4 shots as it stands. Well, Nick is, well, he's got some work to do to get back to the jack from there. But they do tend to get a kick off the edge, and he has. And, well, I think he's got at least 2nd ball out of it, maybe 3rd. Oh, and Matt's shot wood has just fallen out, so it's close now. Matt's asking for 2. He's giving 1, and they're measuring for 2nd ball. Over on rink 1, Jim Collins, Kevin Masters. It's now 5 across, and Andy Mace, Kelvin Cooper. It's 9-0 to Andy. I believe that is just 1 shot to Matt, but I'm sure Matt will be happy to take that. The important thing now for Matt is just to hold onto that jack, reel up a few ends, get himself back to within 2 or 3 shots. So Matt is 1.5 spots off the tee with the mat. And he set the mark there of 29, maybe 30 metres. The score currently stands at 12-3. Matt bowling on the forehand, ditch side, and a good start here. This is more like what we expect to see from Matt. It's a yard through, but that's not a bad start. A good reply here from Nick. Bowling very well. just short of jack high, about 12 inches off the jack, currently holding shot. So Matt turning over and bowling on his backhand, following Nick down. So both hands on this mark work quite well. Just finishing that yard through again. He's found a good track again here as Nick. And that's good consistent bowling there. 18 inches or so off the jack. Matt electing to stick with the draw on the backhand. I think he was perhaps looking at playing the forehand to try and draw the jack off, which would have probably been my choice of shot. But a lovely effort here from Matt, and it looks like he has managed to, drawn for shot wood there. About a wood in front of the jack, 4 inches off the jack, 4 maybe 5 inches off the jack. So Nick needs to be perhaps a reaching draw to either use a shot wood or drag the jack through. And he actually finished a yard short. If anything, he'd have been better playing a yard through on weight. Anyway. So if Matt can keep himself focused now, get another one in the count, keep Nick under pressure maybe, pick up another end, and get himself back into this match. And it's finished okay there, to be fair. He was a bit fortunate not to get the jack. Nick is on a tight line here. Has he put the weight on to play into it? He hasn't. He's left it short again. So Matt will come away with one shot there. More importantly, he's going to get to hold on to that mat and pick his mark. There they call. 12-4 to Nick Flatters. Over on rink 1, it's Jim Collins 6, Kevin Masters 5. And on rink 3, Andy Mace is 10, Calvin Cooper 1. So Matt being 2 spots up with the mat. Yeah, keeping a fairly consistent length here. It's around about the 28-29 metre mark. Bowling ditch side, it looks to me like he's got a good track here for his woods. Some of the wider swinging balls, you really do have to skirt the edge of the ditch to get him to kick back. But these Defiants, you can bowl inside 12 to 15 inches from the edge to get a decent track to the centre. So Nick sticking with his forehand. Nick really avoiding ditch side on both hands as much as possible. He's only bowled a couple on the ditch side, and that's finished probably 2.5 yards through the head. And Matt just about holding shot as it stands. This looks a bit better. It's just drifted through the head a yard or so. So Nick staying with the forehand. Can he get his weight adjustment? getting back on track. When he's bowled well enough to get shot wood here, that's not a bad bowl. Around about 2 feet behind. Still room to get in there on a draw shot on either hand for Matt, with a decent weighted bowl. That looks to me to be on a tight line. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Like it might be good enough for shot. I think it's probably second at the moment. The angle's a bit difficult to read. Nick decided to turn over and bowl down the backhand as the forehand is blocked off a little bit. So I'll just let Matt bowl his next wood, and then I'll give you an update on what is happening. Yeah. So Matt sticking with the forehand, hoping perhaps to use his wood maybe, which is very close here. Well, he's got the jack clean. That's a lovely ball from Matt. Great shot. That'll do his confidence a world of good. Now, if Nick's coming down on that hand, he needs to either be hitting the wood or the jack, because his wood will cut straight across the head on that hand. He's close here. Well, Nick, that is good bowling. He certainly got shot wood. Could even be two shots. One and a look. I think Nick's asking for two. Matt is going to measure it. Don't blame him. He's got nothing to lose. Better to be certain rather than walking down to bowl his next wood wondering whether it was one or two. So, Nick back in command. I think that was just one shot. I'll put the one on for now, and if it's any different, I'll change it as and when. So, for this afternoon's session, obviously we'll have the two winners from the Andy Mace, Kelvin Cooper game and Jim Collins, Kevin Masters game, playing their second game. And then we have the Group B players, which will be Ray Kellard, Keith Alders, Rob Davis, Colin Ross, Wayne Marsden, Kevin Kinsella, Tim Hennessy and Chris Jenkins. They don't as yet know who they're playing because the draw will be done once they arrive, and that's due to start around about 1 o'clock. Back to this game. And Nick has got the mats around about 4 spots up on the tee. Similar length to what he's been bowling all day. 28, 29 metre-ish mark. And good start there. Just shy of jack high. 8 inches short of jack high. Around about 12 to 15 inches off the jack. Matt's also bowling on his backhand. And this looks like it could be a good effort here on a good line, and the weight looks pretty tidy too. And that is a fabulous ball. Great ball from Matt. Toucher. So is Nick going to try the perfect draw shot? Oh, he's very close. That's a good reply. It gives him 2 good seconds. Perhaps opens up options as to what he might want to do with his remaining woods. It's going to be very hard to beat that on a draw shot. I think he needs to be pinging it or drawing the ball off. And Matt's following this wood up. He's looking happy, but it's finished. Well, it's finished a yard down, but it's actually finished in a reasonable position there. It's making the draw shot very hard, and it does limit the controlled weight. And in fact, Nick has turned over now and decided to come on the forehand. I don't really understand why he's trying to play the perfect draw shot. I'd be playing a bit more controlled weight on that. No good finishing with 3 seconds. You may as well have a go and finish with 1 second. Well, players make their own choice. We all read their head differently. So can Matt get another wood in the count? Well, he's trying to draw on that backhand. There is a channel there if you can find it with good weight. And it's a good effort. It's a great effort actually. And it's finished really well. I'm not sure it's good enough to be in the count, but it's certainly in a good spot. It covers the controlled weight on the forehand.
Wood for forehands. Yeah, I never bowled a wood for forehand.
I'm not quite sure what Nick's going to do here. I think really, probably, the only shot he has got is a perfect draw. Perhaps on the backhand to try and get between the red and black wood on a draw line and draw it off. Anything with weight is likely to finish up 2 down. It's a great effort. It's a good effort there from Nick. What's Matt going to do here? Bowling backhand. Is he playing a little bit more controlled? See if he can move the jack back for 3. No, he's going for the draw, but really there's not a draw line on there from the way I see it. I'm sure he'll settle for even just 1 as it stands. Whether he's done enough to turn that wood in for second, I'm not sure. Well, they're having a good look. It might be a measure for second. If it's that close, you may as well measure, lads. Just the 1. 13.5. So if Matt can just hold on to that jack for another couple of ends, pick up 3 or 4 shots, then puts him back in the game. So a quick update on the other rinks. We have on rink 3 Andy Mace and Kelvin Cooper. It's currently 14-3 Andy Mace, and then Jim Collins 9 and Kevin Masters 5 on rink 1. So after we've played the group stages today and in a fortnight, when all 4 group stages have been played, we'll be down to the last 8 players, the quarterfinals, and they will be played in a few weeks' time. Same format, 2 games to get down to the 2 finalists. The winner of this competition will be entered for the Men's Champion of Champions next season. So there is a reward for the winner of this competition, and that is why it's proven to be such a popular club comp. So at the moment, Matt is just about holding shot. He is shorten the jack to around about 25-26 metres. If I can just get a better, trying to zoom in to get a better reading of the head. That's probably the best I can manage. Nick coming down on his forehand. And that's just sliding through. As it stands, it looks like Matt's front wood is just about counting, around about 2.5 feet in front. Nick is about a yard behind with his closest shot. Well, Matt's found reasonable weight with that, but it's finished a yard down, not quite good enough for second ball. So Nick is bowling ditch side as well. Let's change his hand. That's not a bad effort. That might be good enough for shot. It looks like it is from me. 2 feet, 2.5 feet behind the jack. Yeah. So Nick is currently holding 1 shot. Still plenty of room for Matt to get in. Looks like he's done. It looks like he's found it here. He's found a good wood here. That's it is beatable, but at the moment it's good enough. Only 1 wood to come. And that's, well, Nick's decided to go back to the forehand. Probably not a bad option. If he could get any movement on that jack, he could give him 3 shots. And this time Matt's had the fortune. So 1 shot Matt. So Matt dragging himself back into this game. He may only be picking 1s up, but he'll be happy to do that as long as he can do it continually, end after end. Score is 13-6. So Matt 3 or 4 spots up with the mat. And it looks to me as if he's perhaps keeping it a little bit shorter than what they've been playing previously. Around about 26-27 metres. So sticking with the ditch side on his forehand. He's certainly found a good track with that first ball. About 2 feet through. Nick sticking with his backhand. He's found good weight. He's finishing probably 6 to 8 inches short of the jack. Around about a yard off the jack. That's a great second wood there from Matt. He's plonked it right behind the jack there. Great ball. I think Matt is a little bit more relaxed now. He's on the scoreboard. He's won a few ends, and at the moment I'd say he's probably got the edge over Nick. Still looks to me as if Matt could be holding 2 shots there. Definitely holding the one. He's found a good line here. Well, that's finished very well. Nick turning over and going down the same line as Matt. That's definitely tight. Whether he was aiming to play into the head, that's certainly the line that you'd be using if you were. But actually, I don't think it's even reached jack high. So, yeah, Matt has got himself back into this. Nick has been a bit wayward the last couple of ends or so by his standards. After getting off to the flying start. So Matt to bowl his last wood. I'm pretty certain he'll bowl the forehand stitch side to try and land on that jack and perhaps just give it a tickle, get it back onto so it's tighter into the head. And that is a lovely wood again. Fantastic bowling here from Matt. I'm not sure if he's just holding the 1 or if he's holding the 4. Difficult to read at the moment. But Nick doesn't really want to be moving the jack unless he's going to whack it. He's got to really try and draw onto the shot ball. He's on a tight line here. That wood is definitely going to come across the head, but he's through. So just the 1 shot for Matt, but some good bowling there. So 13-7. Over on rink 1, it's Jim Collins 9, Kevin Masters 10. So they're having a good little battle there. And on rink 3, it's Andy Mace 17, Calvin Cooper 3. So Andy is in a good position at the moment, got himself a good lead. So Matt electing to keep the mat up a few spots. Yeah, he's keeping the mark consistently 2 or 3 yards shorter than what Nick has been bowling, which is working at the moment. Matt is finding the weight much better on this length than what Nick is. Going with the backhand, and he's good tidy start here from Matt. That's a great start. Just maybe 18 inches, 20 inches through the head. Probably 2 foot off the jack in total. Good again. Nick is just bowling that yard heavy. And that is actually a couple of yards through the head. Yeah, and Matt's got another one in there. Again, it's definitely beatable, but the woods are in a good place there. Nick replies on his forehand. He's got the woods to use, and he's found a good draw shot there. That's shot wood. Now, obviously, Matt, as you imagine, should stick with the backhand there. Try and drag it through. Either get the jack or the shot wood to give him the chance of 3 shots maybe. Only really just drawing through. Similar woods to what he's bowled previous, which he's done, and that is looking very good. And that is a fabulous ball, Matt. Well bowled. Shot wood. Nick turning over and electing to bowl on his backhand. Probably going to bowl a similar shot to what Matt has just played, really. Try and rest the ball. So he doesn't really want to be getting too much movement on the jack because Matt's got woods waiting. And it's decent effort. And Matt just got to find a perfect draw now. And that doesn't really give Nick too many options to get in. It's the position of all the woods favour Matt at the moment. And well, that's another great wood, and that could be good enough for second. Yeah, so Nick, well, Matt is bowling really well now. He's found his game, he's found a length. He's put Nick under pressure, and he's got himself back into this game. It looks to me like that could be 2 shots. Now Matt is back within 4 shots, which is brilliant. So Matt electing to, well, he's got the mat a little bit further back this time. Oh, that was again just 1 shot to Matt, but still 13-8. It's not a bad place to be. Yes, keeping the length around about the same. 27-ish metres, something like that. Good start. So Nick electing to have a go on the forehand. He's bowled most of the ends on his backhand, but it just seems as though sometimes on the shorter marks he's happy to bowl on the ditch side. Perhaps he hasn't got the confidence on the longer marks. And Matt currently holding shot. He's just overcooked that one by around about 4 feet. And Nick has bowled a big wood there, got himself 2 shots out of that, the perfect draw bowl. Matt deciding what he's going to do. Perhaps a backhand draw to the back wood might be the shot to play. If he can get a bit of movement on the jack from that hand, it's going to favour him. Well, would say that is probably the right sort of weight to be playing. He's finished a couple of yards through, but if you roll that weight on a tighter line, either get some movement on the front wood or the jack or the wood just behind. Get a bit of a bagatelle and move that jack. Could be worth a few shots. It looks like at the moment it's 2 shots to Nick. I'm surprised Matt hasn't had a walk up the head actually to have a look at that. He's definitely bowling a tighter line this time, slightly more aggressive shot, which is certainly the shot to play. And this is a lovely bowl. What a great effort that was. I think it's taken 1 out, probably only 1 down now. He got a result, but really deserved better. He was very close to getting that jack clean. So, well, I think Nick is just happy to win an end and get the jack back. Matt has had a little bit of a run. I mean, he has only been picking up 1s, maybe the odd 2. So his score is now 14 shots to 8. Nick's got the control. What's he going to do with the jack length? Well, he's a couple of spots up. I'm guessing he'll probably put the jack on the tee, stretch it out a little bit again, go back to the sort of length that he was playing early on, because that seemed to work for him. Over on the other 2 rinks, it's Jim Collins 11, Kevin Masters 12, Andy Mace 17, Kelvin Cooper 5 shots. So, well, it's around about 28, 29 metre mark, this one. Not a bad start. Matt can still bowl well. Matt elected to come down on the forehand. He could still play the backhand draw and get in, but feels the forehand is the right way to go. Good reply from Matt. That's, I think it might be good enough for shot. Nick sticking with the forehand, and yeah, he's not bowled a bad wood there. Probably 18 inches off the jack, 12 inches behind. Matt going with him on the forehand, and he's found a nice wood here. Just not quite going enough in it to reach the head. Great line, just needed another yard of pace. Can Nick get something else in the head? Put Matt under a bit of pressure. And that is what looks to me like the shot wood. Currently holding 2 shots. That turning over and having to go on his backhand on the ditch side. It's on a good line. If he's got good weight, he'll skip inside that front wood. Has he got enough to get to the jack? Might be good enough for shot. Yes, he's got shot wood out of that. About 15 inches off the jack. Nick's closest wood is around about 18 inches off the jack. So Nick about to bowl his last wood. I'm guessing he'll come down on his backhand along the ditch. Well, he's got good height. I'm thinking, well, he's very close here. Oh, has he got shot or has he just run out? It looks like it looks from this angle as though it could actually be shot. Might not look it on the screen, but I'm looking at it from the side here. But Matt's got room to get in there. Good draw shot. Skip inside that wing bowl on the right hand side with good weight. He's actually going to come down on the forehand draw, which is fine. It's all down to weight. It's just got too much on it, I think. Nick's having a good look. I'm guessing Nick will be asking for one there. Oh, I stand to be corrected. One to Matt. Well done, Matt. So the score now 14-9. Over on rink 1, it's Jim Collins 12, Kevin Masters 13, so they're having a right ding dong. Over on rink 3, it's Andy Mace 18 shots, Calvin Cooper 5. So Matt's electing to have the mats a couple of spots up, shortening the jack length again a little bit, about 2 by a yard or so. Compared to what Nick has been playing. Nick's not happy with that first wood. He's a bit tight and light with that. Indirectly, he might end up blocking off the forehand draw on for Matt, although I think he could get round it. But he decided to stick with it.
Still flowing. Yeah.
Just sliding through still. That's a couple of yards, about 2.5 yards through the head. Nick sticking with his backhand again. Well, they both lost the weight at the moment. It might be that the green's changing pace out there. The heating went off. The rink heating went off about half an hour ago, so the pace may have slowed up a yard. I think Matt's bowled shot wood there, but there's still plenty of room there to draw a shot. I don't think that's going to be good enough to win the end. Can Nick get in with this one? Probably just wins it. I guess that's just falling in for shot. Still a yard to get in. But he likes it. He needs to get in front of the wood. Oh. Has it done enough? Difficult to say. Well, there you go. That's somebody was going to do it sooner or later. Nick has managed to put his last wood into the ditch. So, difficult one to call. It looks like it's going to be a measure. No. I'm not quite sure. Looks like Nick has just won that end. So, score 15-9. Matt really needs to be trying to get hold of that jack now. He doesn't want Nick to get too many more shots because, well, 2 or 3 ends, and that's all we're going to need to win the game. Over on ring 3, Andy Mace is now 20 shots to 5 up against Kelvin Cooper. Jim Collins has just won the last end on ring 1, so I'm just waiting for the score to go up. I'll update you on that as soon as it goes up. So, well, Nick's struggling a little bit with the white at the moment. That's nearly 2 yards through the head. So Matt's got an opportunity here to get in. And an update over on ring 1, it's now 13 shots apiece. Decent start from Matt, a yard or so through the head. At the moment it's good enough for shot. Nick sticking with the forehand, I think after ditching his last wood, bowling ditch side, he'll be bowling down that side as much as he can. And that's probably 2 feet short, round about a yard off the jack. Probably just about good enough for shot at the moment. It's enough to make Matt turn over and bowl on his forehand. And Matt's, well, he bowled a decent wood here. Definitely going to be, well, I thought it was definitely going to be shot, but it's finished a yard down. I think it's just in. Excuse me. Good effort here from Nick. Well, I thought he was going to get a tickle on the jack. Just getting some clarification now as to who's holding shot. Well, there's the answer. Nick's currently holding 2 shots. Matt needs to really come and have a look at this head. He wants to bowl his backhand. He's not sure if that wing bowl is in his way. If he came and had a look at it, he'd know for certain whether he got to bowl it a wood tight or whether his normal draw line is good enough. Anyway, he's going for it. And he's left it on the mat, unfortunately. That's the last thing he needed to do. He put himself under a bit of unnecessary pressure there. He needs to get in with his final wood, otherwise he's going to find himself in a game on position going into the next end. So Nick's let him off the hook there. He's bowled that one a little bit heavy. So Matt has got plenty of room here to draw in for shot. It's a big wood really. He needs to be finding shot wood here. And if he can get some movement on that front wood, that'll be good enough. That'll do him. He'll be happy with that. Well bowled, Matt. Don't know if that was his intention, but he's got the result.
One, Matt. Yeah, mate. Get some water.
And that takes the score to 15-10. So they've just finished over on ring 3. Final score: Andy Mace 21, Kelvin Cooper 5. So Andy Mace will go through to the next round, which will start at 1 o'clock, and he will play either Jimmy Collins or Kevin Masters. And the score on that rink is Jim Collins 13, Kevin Masters 14. So you wouldn't want to be putting money on who's going to win that one. Both lads just having a toilet break on this rink. So Matt's got control of the jack. He's keeping the mat 2.5 spots up. And that's to go fairly long, 30-ish metres. Bowling ditch side on the forehand. It looks like a decent track for those woods. It's just cut across a little bit. Finished about a foot short on weight, maybe 18 inches off the jack. It's enough to make Nick turn over. I'm sure Nick would normally bowl on his backhand, but he's elected to bowl forehand, ditch side. And he's bowled that jack high. I think as it stands at the moment, Matt is just about shot, but difficult to tell. It's close. Matt bowling a similar line to his first wood.
Do we have to sign down?
And that's good enough for shot wood. That's a good wood there from Matt. Great bowl. Is Nick going to try and draw that off, or is he going to be a bit more adventurous? Going down the draw shot. I suggest he would want to be playing at least half a yard through the head to at least opening up a little bit. Ideally get the jack clean, but I think Matt's liking this wood. It's just a yard through, but that actually is finished again in a good place. It probably restricts Nick's options slightly, but again Nick really playing the draw line, which is probably the sensible shot at the moment, and that is a good effort there. Matt having a good look to see if he's holding perhaps the 2 or if it's just the 1. He might choose to come down on the other hand and perhaps promote his wood. It's probably a slightly safer option actually. If he was to bowl ditch side and drag the jack through, he could give the shot away. less of a risk on the forehand, on his backhand, sorry. So he's bowling ditch side, forehand, draw. And it's on a very good line. It's all down to weight now. And that is a great ball there, Matt. That is a great ball, 2 shots. I mean, it does make the target a little bit bigger if Nick decides to come down at the head, but to be honest, the odds probably in Matt's favour at the moment. I think if Nick comes down with any weight, he'd need to perhaps try and get that jack clean and run through with it, and the way the woods are stacked at the moment, that's probably unlikely to happen. So I'm guessing he'll probably play on his backhand and try and draw the wood off. And it looks to me as if he's playing a weighted shot there, but on a draw line, which he has. So Matt's definitely got the 2 shots here, possibly 3. It looks like the 2. Well, Richard's put 2 on the board. Matt is certainly going to probably want to measure on that if Nick won't give it him. Big end there for Matt. He's got himself right back in it now. He's back within 2 or 3 shots for the first time, with control of the jack. So this could be a turning point if he can get his head together and get a couple of decent first woods in, put Nick under pressure. So 2 shots there to Matt. So the score is now 15 shots to 12. Quick update on Rink 1. Jim Collins has just picked up a full house, 4 shots against Kevin. It's now Jim Collins 17, Kevin Masters 14. So Matt keeping the jack, the mat a couple of spots up. Pretty much all through the game they've had that mat within the same 2 metre area pretty much all through the game, and they haven't really changed the jack length. There's maybe a 3 metre difference in length throughout the game on various marks. So they're playing a fairly consistent length. Matt's bowled his first wood on the backhand, and that is really the ideal start for him. Just what he wants to be doing at this stage of the game. Good reply here from Nick. Just a yard or so too much on that. That's finished probably around about 4.5, maybe 5 feet through the head. So if Matt can keep on drawing within that 18 inches or so of the jack, it will put him in a really good position to and he's drawing the perfect ball there, perfect draw shot right in front of the jack, touching ball. The only way Nick's going to beat that is to move the jack. He's got a perfect backwood for it if he can punch it hard enough, depending how he gets it. But Matt's second ball is also in a decent position. Decent reply there from Nick. That might be good enough for second. I think it might have just run out. I think Matt is currently holding the 2, but difficult to tell. So Matt electing to bowl yet another ball on his backhand. If he can land on that nearest blackwood or on the jack, then that really is going to put Nick under pressure. And it's through the head, but in a good position. I'm guessing that if anybody plays weight onto that shot wood, I'm guessing the jack is going to go over, more like to go over to the redwoods than anywhere else. So Matt is in a very, very good position at the moment, the way I'm reading the head. Over on ring 4, Jim has just picked up another one. That score is now currently Jim Collins 18, Kevin Masters 14. And Jim is about to play, or try to play, a relatively short mark. He's got the mat right up. As long as he can cast the jack and make the 23 metre mark without putting the ditch. And this is a tactic a lot of the more experienced players do when they've got the mat. So Matt's still currently holding the one. I think his only real option there is to do the backhand draw, perhaps try and get inside the blackwoods or land on the blackwoods here for second bowl or for a little bit of cover. He could punch his own wood and probably get the 2, but really he ideally doesn't want to be moving the jack, because that would open up more options for Nick. The current situation favours Matt in pretty much every way. Another backhand draw shot. He's coming very nicely. And that is a fabulous wood there from Matt. I'm not sure if it's good enough to count, but it looks like Nick is on a slightly tight draw line there, but I think he's going to be sailing through the head. So yeah, Matt's definite 1, maybe 2. And it's game on. I'll just confirm the score when it goes on the board. So Matt is, keeping the mat in same sort of areas I've played all game really. Within that two to 3 spots up. And Matt picked up a 2 there, so he's now back within a shot. So, well, who knows what the outcome of this game is going to be. They've now been playing just over an hour and a half, so they've got plenty of time to complete the game. Not a bad start from Matt. Around about 4 feet through the head, maybe 5 feet through the head. But at the moment, that certainly won't be last wood. Nick just gone off the ball a little bit there. He's sort of missed both the land and the weight there, which whether that's because the green has changed or perhaps feeling the pressure a little bit, I don't know. Maybe a combination of the 2. But Matt, I think, his confidence is building a little bit now. He's finding his feet, drawing very well. It seems the last few ends he's managed to get at least 1 ball within 10 inches of the jack. And if you can do that, then you're going to be in the game. There you go. Nick has decided to bowl 1 on the forehand and put his wood in the ditch. He obviously feels as though the first wood he's bowled is probably covering off his backhand shot, where actually it isn't. The draw line he can still get in. And that's just gone through a yard with that, but it's counting, and again in a good position. Well, Nick is definitely bowling a tight line with this. I'm not sure if he's trying to get some movement, but well, yeah, that'd be disappointing, would there? Currently probably 3 shots down as it stands. Matt's liking it. He's very good for forehand draw. Well, another great wood there. Nick really needs to try and cut the count down with this last wood. Forehand, tight line. Needs to be playing into the head on that line. And to be honest, I think that could be a full house for Matt. But we're having a good close look at the head. I think Matt's looking to pick up. Well, 3 shots. He'll be happy with that. That's the first time that Matt has actually got himself in front. And what a time to do it, 17:15. Game on. Quick update on Rink 1. Jim Collins v Kevin Masters. Jim Collins has just picked up a 1, so it's now 19-14 in favour of Jim. And Jim has just pulled his first wood and about a foot off the jack. So again, no change with map position on this. Jack length is perhaps a yard down on what they've been playing, maybe 2 yards down on what they've been playing the last couple of ends. And Matt now looks to me to be in control of this game after the start. And that again is a very good lead. He's through the head probably 7 or 8 inches, about 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet off the jack. Nick bowling on his forehand. And well, good reply there from Nick. That's just what he needed. He's finished jack high, around about 3.5 inches off the jack. I'm guessing Matt will stick with the backhand on the ditch. We've got a nice little draw shot there. Get the split and bring the jack across, or a perfect draw shot, or turn the wood over. And actually, well, he elects to bowl on his forehand. That's a slight. I'm not quite sure why he's elected to do that. Almost got a result though. I think if he'd have played the same shot on the backhand, he would have been holding shot now. Nick bowling forehand. And he's left that one short. Good yard down. Well, yeah, yard down. Matt's sticking with the forehand, which wouldn't be my selection of shot, but we're all different. And it's another very good effort here. And that is a lovely bowl. He's got a result there, I think. 1 shot, possibly 2. Touching bowl. Matt looking fairly confident and relaxed. So he's certainly bowled a tighter line this time on the forehand. He's obviously trying to use the woods to get in, and well, that's a fabulous effort. Has it done enough? Has it fallen in? Not sure it has. I can't believe that's finished where it did. That looked like a really tight line coming up, and it's finished. I know the jack is slightly off centre, but it's still within 10 inches of the centre line. So Matt trying to get another draw. If he can get a tickle on the jack or land on that back wood, it would make it much better. Just turning through. Still, he's in control at the moment. He's holding one, I believe. And Nick bowling a similar wood to his last wood. Quick update on rink 1, that's finished. Jim Collins has won that game. I think it was 21, about 21-13, 21-14. So Jim Collins will play Andy Mace in the next round. Oh, and actually, I thought Matt was holding shot on that last end, but no, it's two shots to Nick, 17 across. Well, what a game this is turning out to be. Matt position is, well, it's a yard off the tee, so you've got the mat back a little bit. Probably slightly longer mark now, 30-ish metres, maybe 31 metres. And that is, well, that's a good start. That's within 18 inches of the jack, always a good start. Just behind the jack, you might not look it. It's about 6 inches behind. Yeah, the Jim Collins game finished 21-14. Matt trying one on his forehand. He's left that 4 feet short and possibly blocked the forehand shot off now. So he's probably going to have to stick with the backhand. There's still plenty of room to get in with 3 woods. Decent wood there from Nick, making a little bit of a target to draw into, but I'm sure Matt's going to be trying to land on the jack, not the woods. He's on a tight line here. Which is a shame because the weight was good. And actually, no, it's pulled up pretty quick, that has. It's, is it reaching? Matt, he's put himself under a bit of pressure here. If Nick can get another one in, it's game on.
I mean, if there's 3 or 4 of you, to be honest, you're better off flying and then just renting a car.
So Matt's got to find one there just to stay in the game. There is, to be fair, there's plenty of room, but when you're under pressure, anything can happen.
Yeah, not this high. How back?
And has Andy overcooked it? Well, he's cut it down, so he's still in the game. It looks to me like he's probably got third wood. Yeah, we've got second wood actually, so that's one shot to Nick. Back in front, 18-17. So we're definitely into the business end of things now. Right back. So the mat is 3 spots up.
If he can get through to that, then he'll have a big chance next hole. It's 6:30 and next week is 6:30.
Yeah, around about around about the 30-ish metre, 29, 30-ish metre mark, which is what Nick was bowling at the start of the game, and he was plonking them on nearly every end. It's not a bad start from Nick, but he has left Matt quite a bit of room to get in there. That's probably 5 feet behind the head. Certainly a good 4 feet. Matt just needs to get a good lead wood in, take the pressure off himself a little bit. That looks as if it could be on a tight line. Although the weight looks pretty good, I think it's going to skate across the head. Yeah. Shot wood, good yard through, around about 4 feet off the jack. Nick sticking with the forehand. And that's not a bad reply, just a little bit too much on it, but at the moment it's shot wood, around about 2 feet off the jack. On his backhand again. It looks a little bit tight to me, but he could get in on weight if the weight's good. That looks to me as if it's shot wood. It's jack high.
Last one's about 3/4 of a ball.
Just shy of jack high. Half a wood in front. Ideally, Nick could do with playing a draw shot and just dragging that jack, potentially holding 3 shots in game. He's sent that one out a little bit. I don't think that's going to get back quick enough. Oh, it is. Oh well, there you go. I'm wrong. Now, Matt needs to be playing a similar shot to try and pick that jack up, drag it through, and give himself 3 shots. He needs to be reaching half a yard through the head, similar to his first bowl on that line. Well, it's another second. He's still got that shot to play with his last wood. Similar line with an extra perhaps yard or half a yard, just to pick that jack up and drag it through the possibility of 2 or 3. And Nick has got an option on his forehand if he wanted to play like slightly controlled weight and punch his wood, move that jack back, he could put himself back in a game on position. So he may elect to try and play the perfect draw, give himself 2 shots. I think at this stage I'd perhaps take the risk and try and get a little punch on the jack, but difficult one to call. It looks to me as if that's what he's trying to do. So coming down on the forehand, he's on a tighter line. I think he's playing that just that yard of weight. Is it going to get back quick enough? It might have got him second. I'm not sure. Can't really tell. But Matt needs to be drawing on the backhand now to his red wood for shot. And if he can just tickle the jack, pick up the 2. He doesn't want to be playing weight, trying to split the woods or anything, because if that jack goes back to the right, it's he could end up costing him the game. So, nice draw shot. Try and win the end, and then go again.
But these always aren't even the same.
The one day you can see past your belly button.
So, what can Matt do with his last wood? Well, he's playing on a tightish line, and yeah, he just had too much on it. I think Nick. Well, he's definitely one to Nick. Measure for second. It's a close measure, but I think I've just got a favour for Nick from what I saw there. Two shots to Nick, that puts Nick onto 20. So Nick just needing to win one more end. Matt needing 4 shots. So he's still all to play for. And this time he's got the mat a little bit further up. Well, it'll be a similar mark. I'm guessing the jack will finish up roughly where the mat is now, that Richard is about to pick up, which is around about that 28, 29 metre length. Yep. Around about, I'd say 28.5 metres or so. Jack not quite centred exactly. Perhaps Richard needs to get himself to Specsavers, but for the purpose of this event it will be perfectly okay. Good start there from Nick. Covers a makes it very hard to get in on the forehand, although Matt is going to bowl it by the looks of it. I'm not quite sure what his thinking is there. I would have thought the backhand would be the way to go, especially as these woods haven't got a big finish on them. Heating's just kicked in, so I expect the weight to be changing in the next 10 minutes, although this game will probably be over by then. Matt finishing 5 feet through the head. So really all Nick's got to do is, well, cover all the options and win the end. No, it's found dead weight with that, just slightly missed the land. But at the moment it's counting. Yeah, Matt's changing his hand, bowling the backhand, which in my view is the right decision. And he's bowled and perler here, and that is a lovely wood. Currently holding shot, keeping himself in the game, touching ball. And what can Nick do in response? Well, bowling forehand, okay. Perhaps he wants to use Matt's wood. Well, he's very close, but there's always a risk of that happening. Can't quite, not really what I would have gone for. He now opens up that hand again, so if Matt decides he wants to bowl forehand on the ditch side, he can, whereas it was pretty much blocked off previous. And indeed, that's what he's going to do. And that's a lovely effort here. Is it going to be good enough to count? I'm not sure. It's about a yard down. Probably not quite good enough to count as it stands. And Nick going back onto his backhand. Try and play the perfect draw shot. Obviously that's the only real option there. And it's a good effort here. A very good effort indeed. Oh, it's just fallen out, and that gives Matt a nice shoulder to draw onto. Now Matt really, ideally, needs to be coming down on his backhand to draw into that, in my view. The backhand draw, the forehand draw, the draw shot is there, but if he moves that jack, it's game over. Backhand draw, land on the jack or land on the last wood that came down. Pick up a 1 or a 2. Players have now been playing for 2 hours. I've got another half an hour to complete the game. I'm not sure that's going to get back quite quick enough. Oh, it is. Wow, what a lovely effort this is, Matt. What a lovely effort. Has it done enough? Not sure. I'm not sure if that was 1 shot or 2 shots. The important thing is Matt's won the end, so he's back in the game. One. I believe that was 1. The score's now 20 shots to 18. Huh? I've got some jump leads in the car. So Matt's bowling a shorter mark. About the 26, 27 metre-ish. It's worked for him previously. The important thing now is to get that lead in, put Nick under pressure, and then just build the head up. if he get that lead in, it takes the pressure off himself as well. And that isn't a bad start. It's not going to be good enough to win the end though, but always better to be behind the head in front than in front in most cases. And that's, yeah. Is Matt going to stick with the backhand? He will get in on the backhand, but it is in his eye line. He's certainly bowling a tight line there, but it is a shorter mark, so that's maybe what he needs to do. I'll tell you what, he's found a fabulous bowl here. That is a fabulous bowl. He's dragged the jack through, now holding 2 shots, jack off centre. So Nick's not only got to find the weight, he's got to readjust the green to allow for that jack being off centre. And straight away he's come back with, well, might be enough to get him second wood, I'm not sure. Matt electing to bowl on his forehand. Let's try and get another one into the head. And build up. And he's bowled a lovely bowl here. Doesn't want to be moving the jack very far, but that is a great bowl there. Definitely holding 2. What can Nick do in response? He needs to at least try and get second wood if he can't get shot. Good response here, good reply, but not quite reaching. Matt has got a chance now. If he can draw another one into count, that will put him at game on and put Nick under a lot of pressure with his last wood. I'd perhaps bowl on the other hand, on the backhand, to be honest. Try and get around that wing ball and get somewhere near that back wood at the back, the black wood at the back. But anyway, he's doing a forehand draw. If he gets in the count, it's going to be a good bowl. He's coming well here. It's just through the head. He might kick himself for that, but he's in a very good position here. And what's Nick going to do? He's coming down on the backhand. Is that going to get back enough? No, I don't think it is. Oh, still might. That's come right back. I really wasn't expecting that. Has he got second wood out of it? I suspect not. So that's 2 shots, Matt. That takes it to 20 across. Next end wins the game. What a game. All on this end. So been a very interesting game. Matt keeping the mat in the same place as he's pretty much had it all game. Is he going to keep the length shorter, or is he going to go long? I don't think they played a single end T to T today, which is interesting. He's definitely shortened the length. What's that, 25, 26 metres, something like that. He's bowled his first wood on the forehand. A couple of yards through the head. well, no, perhaps 5 feet through the head. Nick bowling on his backhand, probably a yard down. Still plenty of room. And that at the moment is the winning bowl. 15 inches or so away from the jack. Nick electing to go on the forehand, follow that one down. Wants to be inside the wood or on the wood, which he is. Or he's actually gone sailing through, so had he got some contact there on either the jack or the wood, that would have been a very good finish. But he's in a good position if that jack gets moved. I'm surprised Matt is actually staying on that hand. I thought he might turn over and try and drag the jack across to his own woods. But anyway, he's drawn a very good wood here. That's a great ball. And now that is touch up. That's going to take some beating. Nick has got 2 woods to do something with that. Now, at this stage, I'd have been running at that. It's a hell of a shot to play the perfect draw shot there now, and now he's only got 1 wood left. I doubt whether he's going to draw it off. He's got to be playing at that. I would have gone for that with the last wood and try and give him a chance, but Matt's just got to really cover it now. He doesn't really want to be drawing into it and making the target any bigger. I would suggest that he'd be drawing somewhere around the area of the 2 black woods at the back to cover. And it looks to me if he's going to bowl forehand and try and draw another one in, which, unless he's going to try and put it at the back, it's not the right shot choice. He doesn't need 2, he only needs 1. Okay. Well, it's covered the front forehand draw shot off. But Nick, he's got to choose his hand, he's got to run at the head, he's got to try and hit the jack, and then hope that the jack either moves forward or pings out a rink. He actually, from what I can see, he would win a respot if it went out a rink. But this is a test now of bowling experience. He's relatively new bowler. Both these bowlers have only been bowling 3 or 4 years. It's a question of whether he can see the right shot to play and go for it. Again, I would have been coming on the other hand, but if he gets a result, he's close, but not close. And so that's it. Matt getting over the line, 21-20. What an enjoyable game that was. It looked as if Matt was dead and buried early on, but he's dug in, fought hard, battled, and he's got a result 21-20. And he actually goes through now to the last 8. He hasn't got to play again today because he had a walkover in the first round, as did Nick. I'll be signing off now. We'll be back around about 1 o'clock to stream the next game. Not sure what that game is yet, but it'll be another singles match. Hope you can join us. Thanks for watching.